War is raging across Middle-earth and it has finally reached the kingdom of Rohan. This village, a small stronghold nestled in the wilds, now is at risk of destruction. Saruman has sent a force of Uruk-hai and Dunlendings to raze it to the ground. The citizens of Rohan must draw weapons and defend themselves at all costs. This army has one objective: to destroy the kingdom of Rohan. Join us in this Burning of the Westfold themed battle report where we have some extra special terrain. It's all of the new Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2 buildings, and there is a destroyed version of every single one of these houses, which means throughout this game, the attacking force is going to be trying to burn them down, and once that happens, we'll be replacing the building with the destroyed counterpart. Hello and welcome back to Conquest Creations. My name is Jacob Lucas, the Conquest Creator, and in today's game, we are playing the Burning of the Westfold. There's roving warbands of Uruk-hai and Wildmen that are burning every village that they can in Rohan. My Rohirrim villagers are just going about their daily lives in these buildings, and all of a sudden they are ambushed and need to run out to defend their houses.
I am Jeremy from the Green Dragon podcast, and I'm back here to play a scenario that Jacob has created based on some of the old scenarios where I have to go and burn some Rohan houses. And this is always my favorite kind of scenario because there's lots of things I have to do. There's 6 houses to burn. I've got a good force of Uruk-hai scouts and Dunland warriors, and I'm just going to go burn these houses.
The attacking force today is led by 2 Uruk-hai scout captains. Then there's 2 full warbands of Uruk-hai scouts, some wildmen of Dunland, as well as some feral Uruk-hai. This is a big army that's going to outnumber the Rohan force. The Rohan army today is just the citizens of Rohan who must rise up to defend their settlement from the attacking forces. But when the raid starts, they send out a cry for help, and at the start of turn 6, a relieving force of cavalry, which is a half-dozen riders with another captain on horse, will come in to support the defenders. So in this game, the objective is simple. You have to burn down these buildings, and the really cool thing is that because we're using the Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2 set, these buildings can be replaced with a destroyed version of them. So in-game, when Jeremy moves one of his models into base contact with these buildings, at the end of the turn, he can roll a dice, and on a 6, the building is set ablaze. Now, at the end of any turn that a building has already been set ablaze, I can try to put it out also on a 6. But if a building has been on fire for 3 consecutive turns, then it will be destroyed and we'll swap out the building. At the end of the game, each building that is totally destroyed is worth 1 victory point to Jeremy, while each building that's still intact is worth 1 victory point to me, but if it's set ablaze, not yet destroyed, it's worth 0 points to anyone. This game is going to go for 10 turns, so Jeremy's going to have to rush forwards if he really wants to destroy these buildings. I love playing narrative games, so I'm super excited to get into this one. Let's get started. For this scenario, all of the good models are deploying inside the Rohan village. These are just the villagers of Rohan who don't know that they're about to be ambushed.
To deploy, I started off the board running in. I've tried to split my forces up to go after every single building to force Jacob to be able to defend every building, because all I have to do is burn these buildings down, and if I get them really early, hopefully the Rohan don't even notice.
This video is brought to you by our upcoming Kickstarter, the Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2. This Kickstarter is going to be going out mid-May, and it's going to contain all of the buildings that you need to make this village. All of the buildings will have an intact and a ruined counterpart so that you can play through a game just like this one. We've designed all of these STL files to not only be easy to print by making them in as few parts as possible, but also great for wargaming by thinking about how these are going to impact your game and making sure your models can bounce on all the surfaces and fit through all the doorways. If you want to follow along with the project, then in the description down below you can find a link to the Kickstarter waiting page, and it'll notify you when the project goes live. If you like the look of this project and you want to start printing straight away, then you can head over to our web store where you can find this building completely for free, and people have been asking for it, so we've also just released the ruined version of it completely for free. People buying these STL files is what allows us to exist as a business and allows us to spend time creating content just like this. So if you're a fan of the channel and you want to get some awesome wargaming scenery at the same time, then follow that link in the description down below to the Kingdom of Saxonia Volume 2 Kickstarter waiting page. Alright, let's get into this game. The ambush has been sprung, but don't worry, the alarm bells have been rung, so all of my warriors have picked up their weapons and I'm moving all my archers to the windows to try to get some shots off and reduce Jeremy's numbers. To start out the shooting phase, I've got an archer and a throwing spear, just shooting into these Uruk-hai scouts. The archer will be the green dice. Oh, they've both missed on that roll. This archer here fired through the doorway and managed to kill the first scout. Throwing spear went next and managed to take down another one. This is actually a great start for our shooting. Jeremy won the roll-off of priority and he's given it to me. So these warriors of Rohan are just trying to defend their home. Here we are at the end of my movement where all of my warriors have just come out of the buildings as much as possible, while some of the archers have stayed in there to get some more shots.
Okay, I have gone a concerted effort at the buildings. I couldn't reach any of these buildings this turn. I have decided to engage the models here, but not this one over here that doesn't have a throwing weapon. That can just stand there and wave its hand. Hopefully I can kill these two nice and quickly. I've set up a couple shots here to try and thin down those numbers a little bit. And the other side I've just run as fast as I can at a building and hopefully can light them on fire.
And in my shooting phase, I got my first kill with this Rohan spearman who just threw it out the window. The rest of the good side shooting didn't manage to do any kills. These two Uruk-hai who stood still took 2 shots and managed to kill one of my Rohan warriors. The fight phase started with 2 of my throwing spears going down. That's a big loss early in the game. The next fight saw my warrior of Rohan raise his shield and push back his enemies. The last fight saw my warrior of Rohan successfully defend his doorway and just push back the warriors of evil. And at the end of the turn, Jeremy, you have, is it 6 models in base contact with this building?
Yep, it is.
6, so that is 6 attempts to light it on fire. You need a 6 on any one of these dice to set it ablaze. And there's the 6 on the big dragon dice. The building has been set alight. Priority went to me, and I'm just running forwards trying to hold back the attackers. I've got this warrior of Rohan who's just charging into that wildman with a flaming brand to try to stop him. On the other flank, troops are just running forwards, and I went with this throwing spear who charged into the warrior with a flaming brand, managed to take him down, which is a massive benefit for me. And here is the board at the end of my movement phase. As you can see, these buildings are starting to evacuate as we're trying to kill the ambushes.
Okay, so over here, I've prioritized engaging with buildings wherever possible. This one I managed to get a couple into the building. Over here, it was just redressing the ranks. Here as well, Jacob's done a really good job of holding me off, but one wildman is sneaking through for next turn. And then over this side, I still want to engage the models in this building to prevent them from putting out the fire. So I've charged doorways wherever possible and then repositioned anyone else to head towards this building, which I need to light up. I've got a couple dice rolls on that building for next turn, and I think I'll just keep pushing down this way and hopefully the fire will stay.
In the shooting phase, all of my archers fired down at the evil side, but didn't manage to get any kills. The first fight saw one of my warriors pushing back the attackers, which is just a good start when I don't die. The next fight is my captain fighting the Uruk-hai scout captain. So you're two-handing, Jeremy?
Absolutely.
I'm on a 5.
I'll take a
2. This is a good start. Oh no! So that 6 stays as a 6 now. So you've won that fight. Can you put some damage onto me?
Easily.
Nothing at all. Oh, that's good. The next lot of fights saw one of my archers go down, but then the 2 warriors of Rohan won and just pushed back their enemies with their shields. The combat phase on the other flank didn't go well for me. I took more casualties and the Uruk-hai are inside the longhouse. But now we need to see if you can burn this house down. You need a 6. Snake Eyes is not good enough. On this building, there's 2 attempts. There's a 6, so this building is set ablaze. I've got 1 model inside this building who can try to put the fire out. So here's a roll. I need a 6. A 3 is not good enough. Turn 5 priority went to Rohan. So my captain is just charging back into that captain. If I can hold these buildings, I can win this game. This building is already on fire, but I still want to kill the model with the flaming brand just in case I can put that fire out. This flank finished up with more warriors charging into the line of Uruk-hai, but unfortunately, it looks like there's going to be one little wildman who tries to set that building on fire. I just have more warriors pouring forwards, trying to get into the fight. Here's the board at the end of my movement. As you can see, 2 buildings on fire is not a good sign. And this is the first Uruk-hai who's going to cross the river to try to hopefully start attacking these buildings in the back.
Okay, I have continued to attack the buildings, and I just tried to engage everyone in that building so Jacob cannot put it out.
The first fight for this turn is the captain fight. It's my Rohan captain fighting the Uruk-hai scout captain. I'll set the bar on a 5.
Two-handed.
Oh, that's another 6. All right. Can you put any damage on me? It's forced to wound here. 1 wound, and I'll have to just take that. The next 3 fights saw me lose 3 Rohan warriors in a row. I'm running out of models. I need reinforcements. The next fight saw me kill a wildman with a flaming brand, which felt good, but maybe didn't make much real progress, and then I lost 2 more warriors of Rohan. I'm running out of bodies quickly here. In the next fights, I didn't lose any more warriors, but then my captain went and he also took a wound. The fights finished up with 2 more warriors of Rohan going down without doing any more kills. But remember, this scenario is all about the objective. Seeing if you can light this building on fire, you've got 2 guys touching it.
Nope.
No 6. The next one, oh, what'd you roll behind that building?
4 and a 3.
No 6s. Okay, this is actually going really well. There's 1 more building here. You've only got 1 guy touching it. Can you set that on fire?
Oops,
Oh.
let's try again. Yep.
A 5's not good enough. That's a fantastic end of the turn. I have 1 model inside this flaming building who's not engaged. On a 6, he can put it out. He does not. That goes into next turn, where Jeremy has just 1 priority. I've decided to call heroic move with this captain, and he is just going to be running away. At the end of the turn, I think this building is going to be destroyed, and he doesn't want to be inside it when that happens.
Engage these 2, just pin them in the building.
So they can be trapped in there at the end of the turn.
Yep.
And I didn't have many models to move this phase, so I'm going into my reinforcements. It's the end of the 6th movement phase, and my captain with the riders have heard the cry for help, and they've arrived, hopefully, to relieve this town. It was a big choice where to put them, but I decided to bring them on this side because these buildings are still savable. Urukai captain here is a long way away as well, so he won't be able to call any heroic moves to stop my riders from getting a big charge next turn. Fight phase is starting with my captain. He's going to go down in a blaze of glory and try to get a kill. It's a 4. You've got a 6. You've got the higher fight. Even with my 2 points of might, I won't be able to beat you. You're going to do a lot of damage to him.
There is enough to kill in the first roll.
He's super dead. The next fight saw the last warriors on this side of the river being wiped out. Inside the longhouse, one of my warriors went down, but really that maybe saved him a fiery death. I lost another warrior and didn't manage to get any more kills. This is the end of 3 full turns of being set ablaze, which means that the longhouse has burnt down. Both of the models that were inside this building take their strength 5 hits, but both of them have survived. Next, we have 7 warriors trying to burn this house down. You need a 6 here. No, so it's still standing. That's good. All right, 1 on the stables. 1 6 is all you need, though. No.
1, 2, 3, 4 on that one.
Yep.
Yes.
Set ablaze. 7 on the final building here.
No.
No fire there either. So maybe these buildings will survive. Here's our board at the end of the movement phase. So at the end of this turn, this building will be totally destroyed, scoring Jeremy those points. It's going to go into a very important combat phase. I need to do damage here. The first fight of this turn saw my Rohan captain being slain by that brutal Urukai captain. The next fight is my charging captain. Set the bar for me, Jeremy.
That's a good bar.
That is not good. Here we go. I've got 6s as well. I'm fight 4, you're fight 4. You've got priority, so you give me the roll off. Oh no, goes to the evil side.
Moving back, and let's go Rider.
Not a wound, because that's the Urukai dice. So I've made it unscathed. The rest of the fights finished up with me taking out a few more Urukai and not losing any Rohan warriors, which is a big change from other turns. This building has been burnt down. It's replaced with the destroyed version. Now the next building, can you set it ablaze? You've got 7 warriors up against it. You need to get it here. No 6 once again. The last one on the stables, he needs a 6. No. Priority went to the Rohan. Jeremy, what have you done about that?
I have called a march.
Yep. So that's both his points of might spent on marching, but I think it's worth it. You can get across that ford and into these buildings. To start out my move, I'm going to use this warrior of Rohan. He's going to stand up because last turn he went prone, so he would stop being set ablaze, and he's going to charge that wildman of Dunland, who was also prone for being set ablaze, to try to put the fires out. My movement was used just charging in with this cavalry once again, trying to put damage onto Jeremy. So that heroic march goes off next, and you are moving a long way with these models.
These guys who cannot possibly start a fire are going to continue to start that fire. I need all 7 dice there. This group here, I'm hoping to be able to get in contact with these buildings. I've already sent a couple scouts in to start the fire going. And if I can get these ones ablaze, at least it's going to cancel out the points that Jacobs gets from them.
The fight started with my rider who charged into the Urukai captain, but he was slain. Then I killed an Urukai that was prone from last turn, and the wildman in the burnt building stood up. Then my captain went, he lost a fight and took a wound. These cavalry are pulling their weight because I got 2 more kills with them, and the one that lost his fight managed to survive. I had 2 more fights where I got a kill, which is great. At the end of the fight phase, you've got 2 models in base contact with this building. Lighter on fire on a 6.
Yes.
Oh no, that one's not good. I thought I might have been safe there. On the big house, you just rolled, but it was only 2s, so it is not burning down. And the last building, you've got 7 dice again.
No,
wow, no fire there. I won the priority to move first, and I'm starting by charging in the burnt out building. Their legendary battle continues. This one rider is going to go avenge his brother, charging into that captain once again. And here's the board at the end of my movement. My cavalry is continuing to charge in. We just need to keep as many dice off this building as possible. In this huge smoking mess, there is one archer in there somewhere who's going to try to put it out at the end of the turn.
Everyone that could grab into this building did, because I have to just rely on the flames there. I've got maximum dice here, and I've just engaged whatever else I can.
That takes us to the combat phase where this rider of Rohan won his fight, but didn't get any kills. Burnt out building saw another stalemate. And the cavalry continued their charge, getting 3 more kills on the Urukai without taking a casualty. And at the end of that turn, this building has been fully burnt down and is reduced to ruins. So you've got 5 dice here trying to burn down this building. Can you do it? Oh, there's 2 6s. It is set on fire. And this building that's been very, very flame resistant, can you get it this time? No! So that's up to 28 dice.
Stop counting.
28. I have to keep telling you. Now, in this burning stable house, there is one lone warrior. On a 6, he can put it out. Here he is. Good luck, buddy. No, he hasn't managed to save his home. Priority for this turn has gone to the evil side, so I've decided to call a heroic move with my captain's last point of might. So my captain is just going to charge into this wildman, and basically what that does is it frees me up to put these models in base contact with this building to try to put out the fires, and they're out of Jeremy's line of sight, so they should be safe to do that. And here we are at the end of a very quick movement phase. There's not many models left alive, so they're all just rushing forwards, fighting where they can, and of course these guys once again are going to try to burn down that house. All right, we have a legendary fight. This has been going almost all game. My warrior fighting your wildman. That has gone to you. You kill me on a 4 because of your hatred, Rohan.
Oh.
3 is not good enough. I just pushed back and he has survived this game. Hooray. The next fights saw 2 more riders of Rohan go down, and then my captain killed a wildman. It's the final turn. We just need to see what happens with these buildings. All right, this building once again. How many dice can we get to without a 6?
I do.
Hey, there it is. So the house has been set ablaze. It's now my opportunity to save these buildings. Can I put the fires out? The first one is inside the stables. I've just got 1 dice, needing a 6. That is not a 6. And on this house, there's 3 riders of Rohan who can save it, and a 6 will save it. So the fire has gone out. Here we are at the end of the game. So there's 3 fully destroyed buildings. So Jeremy, that's 3 points for you.
Yeah.
And then each of these buildings that is on fire but not totally destroyed is 0 points for either side. And because I put the fire out on this one, I score 1 point there for a final score of 3-1 in favor of the evil side.
Takes a lot of 6s to be able to get a lot of dice to be able to get that 6 on that final building. I was a little bit worried there. I thought there's a small chance at the end that there'll be 50-50 buildings each. But that said, I probably shouldn't have been worrying too much. The first few turns really were in my favor, winning those combats, killing wherever I could, really helped out, gave me a numbers advantage. And so I wasn't even close to break at the end. I think maybe 2 more turns of those cavalry models might have got me there. But in the end, relatively easy, except the buildings were providing quite a bit of resistance. Trying to light them on fire is tough, and Jacob putting out 1 at the end of the game was a little bit frustrating, but probably appropriate.
Well, that was a defeat to the Rohirrim, so I'm going to say I was just playing thematically. In the books and the films, they lost, so really, I was just doing what Tolkien wanted me to do. At least that's what I'll tell myself. Thanks for watching. This has been Conquest Creations, and until next time, have a good one.